Hello, all our lovely spooky friends who've joined us for our third live episode?
Fourth live episode, I think.
Wow, I can't believe we've already done four of them.
Storytime number 28. And I forgot something. Woo! Yeah, feels good. I hope that there's sound this episode and we're not having any technical difficulties except for speaking. But I'm pretty happy with this one so far.
Nice.
Yeah, it hasn't been a giant disaster leading up to going live. It's only been a minor disaster, so it's been pretty good.
No horrible mistakes so far that we don't know of. Anyway.
I'm sure we'll find some stuff as the pod goes along or as the broadcast goes along, and you guys can let us know. So thank you to everyone who's in Twitch right now and in YouTube who's watching us. We really appreciate it. Several of you actually just followed and subscribed, and we really do appreciate that when you guys watch. So we're going to go ahead and run those alerts because they actually didn't go through because we were on the loading screen. So we want to make sure you guys get credit for it. So there goes the first one. There's a nice spooky sound for you guys. And then Robin.
The creepy sound?
I love the creepy sound. So continue with the intro and I'll run the next one.
Okay, so I'm Robin Grace. This is Adam Diaz. And we're here to read you guys some homegrown horror that you've sent us.
So Robin, what is a homegrown horror?
I was about to explain if you just let me talk.
You paused too long.
So homegrown horror are these stories of experiences that you or your friends or family have experienced, and you are brave enough to send it to us, and we are so thankful because it's so important, and we just get to read it back to all of you and share it with all of you. So
we really appreciate it when you guys share stuff with us. A lot of times these things can be deeply personal, and we understand that, so thank you one last time to everyone who shares or will share. If you're thinking about sharing an experience or just a story, you can reach out to us via email. The email address is storytime@scarish.com. You can also go to facebook.com/scarishpodcast and like the page. You can also message us from there. If you want to post for some instant feedback, go to the group. I think it's Scarish Spooky Friends group. And you can post there for some instant feedback from the community, or you can also join the Discord from there. And if you're looking to just tweet at us with 280 characters now. They doubled it.
Yep.
280 characters or less, you can do @ScarishPod. So before I roll into my first one, I just want to go ahead and say we still have the t-shirts available for purchase. You guys have been showing us pictures of when you get your shirts in. We're super excited to see everyone that comes through.
I'm like, yes!
It's so amazing.
Me so excited.
So we want to just gauge and see how much merchandise you guys are willing to pick up. It gives us an idea based off of like the most common item that's requested, so we can set up our shop and then hopefully be ready to go for you guys. And really excited. You can go to scarish.com and the t-shirts are on the right-hand side. There's a men's and a women's, and then most of our social media has it pinned to the top as well. A lot of you guys have been asking, like, what about this design? What about this color? And that's all to come. This is just the first one that we've ever been able to do. So the more support we get for this one, the more options we're going to invest money into, basically.
Pretty much.
So it really, really helps us. If you guys want to help us out with any donations, you can always actually do it live during the Storytime episodes.
Yeah.
Through Twitch or I think through YouTube. I'm not sure if it's set up through YouTube yet because YouTube's a very weird one. Once we get to August 30th or August 28th, we've had our YouTube account for 30 days, and then I can make a custom URL because you guys have been amazing at following us everywhere and subscribing to us. It's been fantastic to see.
It's exciting, like so exciting.
It really is. If you're more of a monthly donation person, you can sign up at patreon.com/scarishpodcast for monthly donations, or if you're a one-time donation person and you don't watch the live episodes, you can go to Ko-fi or Ko-fi, we don't know, ko-fi.com/scarishpodcast and send a donation that way. And we appreciate everything you guys send us. And if you have no money to send, because we definitely understand what that's like.
Yeah.
Anything as simple as just telling a friend, sharing the episode, rating us or reviewing us on iTunes, it always helps.
Yep.
And we check that like 2 or 3 times a week, like at the minimum. Sometimes I check it like 3 times a day to see if we've gotten new ratings or reviews. Yeah, because sometimes I just want to see, and sometimes they come in like really frequently. So we get new ones a lot, and we really appreciate all the 5 stars that we're getting.
Yeah.
And, getting the feedback from you guys on how we're doing really helps. So it's the last thing I'll say before we move into it.
Yeah. And seeing those, just last thing that I'm going to say is seeing how we make you guys kind of happy with what we do and kind of see that we're doing a good job makes us want to keep going because I know hearing negative things, I mean, it's going to happen, but with support from you guys, it just makes us brush it off our shoulders and just keep going. So
yeah. Sooner or later, no matter what you create, someone's going to shit on it,
Yeah.
So it makes it a lot easier to move past that stuff when there's an abundance of support, which we've had so far, and we really appreciate it. So I'm going to go ahead and move into the first homegrown horror then.
Okay, go ahead.
Cool. So the first one goes like this. It doesn't have a subject, so it just says, "Hello, my name is Lieutenant Owen, and I'm not going to put the last name on there. And I am a community service officer in Quebec, Canada. I responded to a distressed female who was saying she was seeing men in her house, even though it was completely empty of any other residents. When I got there, I asked her what the men looked like. She described the old native legend of the Midnight Men. I've never heard of the Midnight Men.
I've never heard of it either.
More on that in another story. Cool. Anyway, she told me they told her that he would come. And then this is in quotes now. They told me you will come, Mr. Richards.
Oh, that's okay.
Well, there you go. There's his last name. I fucked that up. And then she lunged at me. So he shows up. This chick was babbling that were shadow men, or I was going to say midnight men in her house. Then you show up and she knows your name and she lunges at you. My partner was searching the upstairs and came running down and pulled her off of me. We detained her and she had a steak knife in her sweatshirt pocket. As we took her back to the station, I wondered how she knew my name. Then I thought, in quote, I have a name tag on my uniform. After we handed her to RCUMP, or Royal Canadian Mounted Police, or RCMP, for however you want to say that. I say RCUMP, suck it. I went home, and my girlfriend gave me my name tag. I had left it at home on my nightstand, so I had no name identification, except for my badge, which had my department, and my badge number, not my name. What? I never told her my name, but she still knew. That's the end of it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's super fucking creepy.
Crazy.
I bet you law enforcement have a lot of crazy fucking stories too, and we don't get a whole lot of them from them. I think a lot of them keep them to themselves. But that one's super fucking creepy.
I know, like, even my own family that's worked in law enforcement has crazy stories. So send us your wicked, like, intense stories about maybe some creepy stuff that you've come across. I mean, that'd be super cool.
There's definitely because everyone calls the cops when something's wrong. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like something's wrong, you call the cops. Unless you're not a law-abiding citizen, you're like, I can't call the cops. I got 60 pounds of weed in my house. So then most people don't call the cops in that situation. But I don't know. I'm pretty straight edge, so I call the cops when stuff's fucked up.
Sam says there's a movie from last year called Midnight Man.
What?
Yeah.
We need to check this out.
We should totally look at it.
All right, let's take a quick pause and check out the Twitch chat. Actually, the stream chat. I keep calling it Twitch chat, but the YouTube people can talk to us as well.
Oh, see, I can't see it. I'm looking, like, right in front of me.
That's cool. I'll look at this when you look at that one. Talkative group.
Omen Baby's design. I have one. I wonder if I can grab it real quick and show you guys.
Omen Baby's design?
Yeah, we have an Omen Baby's decal that we made. And let me see. I'm going to grab it real quick. Hold on.
Okay. I'm going to stay here and continue broadcasting. Hello. Please don't bump anything. This could be the disaster we've been trying to avoid the entire day. What's up, everyone? There's sound. LOL. Hooray. I'm glad that you guys noticed that. All right. So what else do we have in the Twitch chat? Maybe a glow-in-the-dark t-shirt. That would actually be really fucking cool to do. I don't know if we have the capabilities through our suppliers, but if we do, that's definitely something that I think we're going to look into. Halloween podcast. Okay, so there's a topic that I've danced around a few times, and every time I'm about to do it, Robin tells me I'm not allowed to do it until Halloween. So we definitely have ideas for what our topics are going to be for Halloween. And I don't know, like, maybe we'll even broadcast the Halloween episode and just do this shit up with just creepy stuff everywhere. And then it might wind up staying up. Who knows? It's like Christmas lights when you're young and you just leave that shit up everywhere and all year round. But we'll see. I left my Christmas tree up until like June one year. So every month it was a Christmas tree. Then it was a New Year's tree. Then it was a Valentine's Day tree because it had red on it. Then it was a St. Patrick's Day tree. Then it was an Easter tree because I put eggs in it. And then it was a birthday tree because my birthday's in May. And then for my birthday present, I'm pretty sure I asked someone to take it down for me. So, because I'm lazy.
I can't find it. We've been organizing the office after the convention, and I can't find all my stickers, so...
Tammy asks, more merch coming soon. Yes, there's definitely going to be more merch coming soon. The new design for the seasonal pin should be coming soon as well.
Oh, I found it. It was right here the whole time.
Just try and not show your ass
It was right here the whole
everyone.
time. Sorry, don't look at my butt.
I still have Halloween stuff up all year, says Glitch Grim. Just Bass or Just Base 13 now followed us on Twitch. Thank you so much.
It's white on white, but we have, it's like, I wish I could show it to you guys because we have like decals where it says #omen babies, and then it's like a silhouette of a dog and cat kind of like reversed on each other. And I think they're really
that sounds
cute.
really hot. Me.
No, you freaking weirdo.
Who else?
I just really want to show it to you guys. Maybe I'll take a picture. I'll take a picture and I'll post it online, and then maybe you guys can see it that way because it's really cute. Yeah.
Right on. So we got some more messages. Tammy on YouTube says, "Come to San Antonio, Texas, and I'll show you the haunted railroad tracks haunted by little kids who like to push your car." I've almost done
heard
that.
that one.
Yeah, I've almost done that a couple of times. I have family down in Texas. The Scriptory HQ says, "Hi, Adam and Robin." Hi, the Scriptory. Tyler Willingham on YouTube says, "Love your show. Thank you so much. That means a lot." Two's Cat says, "Robin, I'm an art professor. If you need help, please hit me up, please." Cool. That's awesome. So
design all the things.
You're going to not bring out your phone because you have to read the next Homegrown Horror.
Yeah.
Don't get ADD sidetracked right now.
No, I just took a picture and I'll post it. I'll post it afterwards.
Right on. So, cool. That was some good interaction with chat. I'm really happy with that. So, let's go on back to the Homegrown Horror.
Okay, so my first Homegrown Horror goes, "Hi, Robin and David."
Who the fuck is David? I literally looked around is he going to say hello? Because I don't know who that is. What's really weird is I had a professor that always used to call me David in college, too.
Really?
Maybe this is her. Maybe this is just one more fuck you to me because I actually wound up graduating. She was actually really nice. If she's listening, I'd be super happy.
Okay.
So,
awkward.
I'll say hello anyways. Hello.
Hello. My name is Brooke, the girl on Facebook with the Ouija board tattoo. That's the chest one, right? The chest Ouija board
I think so, yeah.
Okay. I love the podcast, and it's one of the only paranormal ones I listen to, as I find the other ones either too gullible and just 100% believe everything they read, or super skeptical, and that's no fun.
It's a really delicate balance to have, because you want to be respectful of the stuff people send you, even if you're not 100% convinced yourself. Because sometimes you read them and you're like, that was really good, and sometimes you read them and you're like, we'll let the audience decide.
Yeah, and some of them I just feel like they're too serious and they're monotonous, like the monotone. They're monotone and they just aren't exciting.
Yeah, not to be a dick, but a lot of the emails that we get are one long run-on sentence. And it's like, that's why sometimes when we're reading, you guys know this if you're watching us now, but for the people that just hear this in podcast form, it's usually edited. It's kind of really hard to read that sometimes because it just keeps going and going and going. And you try and find verbal pauses. And when you see something like that from our perspective, that kind of takes away from the credibility of it a little bit almost. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that said, one of the best formatted stories that we've had turned out to have been from fucking Reddit. So, yeah, I won't discredit anyone at this point. So cool. I'm open.
Okay. I wanted to share one of my short stories. And if you like it, I would love to share more. Also, I would appreciate it if you could read this on the podcast as opposed to a stream, as my internet is slow to watch streams. Damn it.
Well, this is coming out in podcast form.
Yeah, it'll
anyways,
be in podcast form
so no
too.
Worries.
Back in middle school, before the movies The Grudge or The Ring, and before I even knew that the Japanese versions of those movies even existed, I was standing in my room listening to the TV while staring at a poster on my wall. I don't like where this is going. Okay. Both those movies are scary to me, so I'm just like,
you are a pretty big wimp, though.
The poster... Fuck you. The poster was one I had recently bought of a fairy. I was just looking at the poster and taking in all the quote-unquote beauty of it. Thinking about it now, it was pretty tacky. That's
funny. It's weird when you grow up and you look back on stuff and you're like, wow, that was not cool.
I used to have posters of Simple Plan and NSYNC and stuff.
I used to have a pierced
ear.
So. Yeah, that didn't last long.
Oh my goodness.
Even when I'm skinny, my head is too fat to handle a pierced ear.
So I feel like this fairy poster was super colorful, where it's really detailed and just has lots of curls and stuff all over it, you know what I mean?
Very busy.
Yeah,
it's a good word for it.
But so all of a sudden, a girl very much resembling the girl from both of those movies started reaching for me out of the wall from the poster. What the fuck?
I wonder if this was an image that was in the poster, or if it just showed up, because that's
maybe
super creepy.
Well, if you look at a lot of fairy posters, there's usually a lot of dark with a lot of light curling and stuff.
For
so
contrast and all that fun stuff.
So maybe it's something like that, where it came out of the dark areas and kind of creeped out. She seemed very sad, but I also remember feeling like she wanted to do me harm, but just was unable to do so. I remember standing there not even really processing what was happening, as she was only there for probably 30 seconds and then gone. I kind of put it in the back of my mind and didn't think much about it for years until finally the American movies came out and they terrified me. Nobody ever understands why those movies scare me so much, as in reality, the movies aren't that scary. I've never seen another ghost like that again, though I do have many more experiences. Thanks for reading. Thank you for sending it, Brooke.
That's super fucking creepy.
And send us your other stories.
That'd be awesome. Definitely send them to us.
But I think those movies are legit scary.
I think they're all right. I had a friend that came over to my house in high school. He's like, you have to watch the Japanese version. It's a million times scarier. This was in reference to The Ring.
I've never seen the Japanese version.
It's called Ringu.
Yeah.
It's one of the things I can pronounce in Japanese. And it's almost the same exact movie, except that there's a plot hole about 2/3 of the way through it, and someone develops psychic powers suddenly, or has a vision, or however you want to say it, so that they can figure out like what to do next. And I remember watching it just being like, that's just lazy writing. And then afterwards, my friends were like, man, that was so much scarier and so much better. I'm like, I'm not saying that it's better than the other one, or it's not better than the other one, but it's not that good.
The Grudge is what freaked me out a lot because of
that
the
noise.
Well, that noise.
I won't do it because listeners have to listen to that.
Yeah, and it's creepy, and it's just the way the bodies move and stuff in it. Then the whole story behind the whole family. There's another one that I watched called Shutter Island, I think.
With Leonardo DiCaprio?
No, maybe it's not Shutter Island. It was a horror one, where a wife follows her husband to Japan, I think. So she follows her husband to Japan, because he's a photographer. So he goes there and she lives with him, and she finds out about this girl that stalks her husband because her husband's a stupid slut. And weird things start happening to this wife, and it leads her into a closet with all these photographs. And in these photographs, she starts seeing like the figure of a ghost appear, like it's crawling across the floor in these photographs.
Like the image of an angel becomes an angel.
It's so
type of thing again.
Creepy. And I don't remember what it was called. I wish I did. But in the end,
let's spoil the movie. No one knows the name of.
Throughout the entire, exactly, right? Who cares? Throughout the entire movie, the husband feels like his back hurts and he's always in pain. So at the end of the movie, you see, because you can only see her through photographs. So in the end, you see her climbing his back, like the ghost of that girl that's been stalking him this whole time, because she killed herself. The ghost of her has been following him on his back the whole time. That's why his back hurts. And you don't see her until like the end.
Wow.
On his back. And he gets put into a mental asylum or something. I don't know. It's crazy.
When you were reading that email, it reminded me of that movie. I can't remember the name of it, but I think they adopt the kid. And the kid has had a bunch of different families that have adopted him before. And his dreams come true. Do you know what I'm talking about? And like the end of it. I just
watched that one.
Yeah, the end of it is where like she realizes that his nightmares also come true, and this evil entity that keeps like killing people is the Cancer Man, but it's like the Canker Man. He calls him something different because he couldn't understand what was happening because his original mom passed away from cancer.
Oh, right.
And then she realizes like the way to like solve the situation, instead of like running from the creature or trying to kill it, is to like hug it and tell it everything's gonna be okay, because it's really just the kid in the first place.
Yeah.
Like that movie was scary, and I remember that ending being like, wow, like I like the idea that compassion can win out over a monster sometimes. So right on. Let's check out the Twitch chat, or the stream chat. I keep fucking doing that. And see what you guys have for us. Ooh, we got a lot.
Okay.
Samantha on YouTube says, I'm a graphic designer. I could help you if you need it. I'll make it a class project, LMAO.
That's hilarious.
That's really funny. Laura on YouTube says, sitting in the dark listening to you guys, and my dogs are creeping me out by barking at random things. LOL. That's super fucking creepy. I already sound like bubble wrap when I get up, says Glitchgrim.
Oh, no.
I feel like I didn't see the beginning of that conversation. It looks like Tyler on YouTube has tried to give us a full story in the chat here. And although I'm not opposed to reading that, I'm going to take the stuff that you sent us and send it to us via email so I can put it in queue, because we have a lot in queue. And I don't want everyone knowing that you can like cut the line, so to speak, by spamming the story in Twitch chat. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Or that way. But I will take this information and I will send it to us. That way we can still read this no matter what.
Oh, cool.
Let's see, what else do we have? I have a foam roller to help you with your back or knees. I think that's for Glitch Grim. My mom always talks about foam rolling constantly, and it is helpful, I will say that, but it's like everything that happens nowadays, it's like, oh, you have a headache? Foam roll it. Yeah. It's like stub your toe, foam roll it.
Sam said that my mic is only coming through the right headset, and that is right, because I don't know why, but it will only come through the right headset.
It's only coming through the right channel. It's something that I can try and troubleshoot. I know mine's coming through both of them. I'm not exactly sure why that microphone is only coming through the right channel.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
In the audio that we record for the podcast, because we do the simulcast, then we record the microphones, it comes through on both channels in this. So it's an error within the streaming service. So it's something that I can try and troubleshoot. If not, I'll try and switch out the mic and then see if we're still experiencing the same problem or whatever.
Pokey Blue says my mic is haunted.
It could be, man. That mic has been nothing but problems.
But yes, we would read angelic stories. We have those. We have read stuff like that before, where it's a little more emotional and about like having contact with family or something like that. So yes, you can totally send that to us. We're not just scary. That's why we're scary-ish, because we like a mix of both, I guess.
I like scaring people, but at the same time, I also like inspiring people, and the way that you guys send stuff like that in is definitely inspiring. So if you have something like that, or something like touching or meaningful, definitely send that stuff in. That's still stuff we want to hear.
Right.
Cool. So I will move on to my next one. All right, and this one doesn't have a title either, but it goes, Yo Dogs. A teacher of mine once told me, we didn't say yo back, by the way. So, hello.
Yo.
A teacher of mine once told me a pretty cool story.
Wait, I'm just...
That was just terrible.
Yeah.
And I thought you guys might enjoy it as well. I'm going to tell... It's funny because they put a question mark. I thought you guys might enjoy it as well. And then in parentheses it says, I'm going to tell it either way. So I appreciate that.
That's hilarious.
Her father got very ill a while ago, and while she was visiting him in the hospital, she saw him staring into thin air as if he was fixing his eyes on someone.
What?
A little while later, he said, quote, "Yes, I'm ready." That same night, he passed away.
What?
That's super fucking creepy. Her mother got sick just a short while after that, and one night while my teacher was visiting her at her home, she saw her with a similar look to the one that her father had. She calmly said, "No, not yet," as if she was talking to someone my teacher couldn't see. A few days passed, and they buried her father. After that, her mother was put into the hospital.
Oh my gosh.
One night, she caught her mother with the same look as if she was seeing something or someone in the room that my teacher wasn't seeing. Again, she spoke. She said, "Yes, I'm ready now." And that night, she passed away. This story gave me chills when my teacher told it. It's short and sweet, and I hope I did it justice. That is super crazy, because we've heard tons of stories about people seeing stuff when they're close to death. Do what you want with it. Keep on creeping on, and I'll keep listening on Spotify. Shout out to Spotify.
Nice.
That's super
really
bizarre.
Cool, yeah.
It's a very common occurrence, too. And there's all these different, it's so common that there's all these different medical explanations for what it could be. Like, as you're dying, you start hallucinating and seeing different things because of all the chemicals being released in your brain.
Yeah.
You know, I've heard that a lot. And a lot of times they're like, but a lot of times people's, chemical makeup in their brains are completely the same before they pass away. That happens when you die, not an hour or two or a few days before you die. So seeing stuff like that, it could be a side effect of medication. It could be a bunch of different stuff, but it's such a common thing. And it happens to people who are even atheists or just from all walks of life.
That's crazy.
So that's a really good story. Thank you for sending that in.
All right. And so my next one is from Fabi. It goes, "Hi, Robin and Adam."
Hello.
Hello. My name's Fabi, and I'm originally from Mexico, but live in Amsterdam at the time. I stumbled upon your podcast on Spotify while looking for something different to my old and tired playlists. I listen to you when I go on long walkies with the Omen baby, a.k.a. Leia. Pick attach. Ooh, where? Oh.
I don't think it's on that.
Okay.
So just keep going. We'll look at it after.
Fine.
Quick shout out to the R2P2. They followed on Twitch. Thank you so much. They followed at the same time as Just Bass 13.
Oh, nice.
And I think their overlap made it so I couldn't see.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to catch up to the new episodes, but I also don't want to binge for the sake of binging. Also, this was 2 months ago, so you're probably caught up by now. I like to pace myself and enjoy the listening experience. I particularly enjoyed your episode on Mexican folklore. For more Mexican creepiness, you should look up Panteon de Belen Legends or the story of Aluches. little mischievous elves from the Mayan world that protect the crops and the sacred sites.
That sounds awesome.
That's really
I want to
cool.
look that
Yeah,
up.
that's really cool.
It reminds me of that one I did really early on when we did the Isle of Man.
Yeah.
About the guy who hangs out in the long grass that's like,
oh,
he's mischievous, but if you fuck with him, he'll cut your
chop
legs.
your legs off.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
That's my style.
But also fucks shit up if you rub them the wrong way.
Called
so
it. Totally
yeah.
fucking called it.
Oh, and they have been known to steal kids sometimes.
That shit happens.
Who doesn't steal
That's
kids?
That's just a side effect of society. I mean, really. Not really. Don't steal kids. If you do that, you're pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Unless you're a fairy elf who is like, I don't know, protecting crops. They didn't say murder kids. They said steal kids. So maybe he's like, I'll give you your kids back if you stop destroying the crops.
But, okay.
I don't know. I got to look into this legend.
Okay.
Before I start defending these things.
On a different, less creepy note, I'd like to share with you and the listeners a story of something that happened to me I thought about after hearing the quote-unquote feel-good episode, and with the grandpa and the honeysuckle smell.
Okay.
When my grandmother was 80ish, she fell hard and broke her hip. She'd been on good physical and mental health up until that point, but after that, things went downhill fast.
Mm-hmm.
My mother decided she needed to come home with us as she needed around-the-clock care, and I was the youngest. It was I who had to share a room with her. Now, I loved my grandmother, and she was like a second mom to me, but I was a teenager, and I realized now that I was bitter about the change in the family dynamic, and especially to have less of my mom's attention. Within a few months of receiving hip replacement surgery, my grandma started believing she was still living in the ranch she grew up in, and would talk to her dead relatives as if they were there in the room with her.
Wow.
That is creepy and awkward.
Yeah, the first thing that comes to my mind is that she had complications from her surgery.
Well, imagine like sharing your room with someone and then having that just be like the most awkward thing, just having them talk to people and you're sitting there like there's no one in here.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Quick shout out to CBLEIGH, which I'm pretty sure
Carly.
is Carly. She just donated $5 during the stream. So thank you so much. We really appreciate that. Like so much. You have no idea.
Yeah, it means a lot to us. This did not make having her sharing my room any easier, but I coped with it. Did you just make a heart?
I did.
Oh, you're adorable.
It was just going to be for the people watching, but now everyone gets to share in the heart I made with my hands.
Okay. She lived a couple more years with ever deteriorating health. Jesus. Until she became this frail shadow of the strong horseback riding 8 kids raising badass she had been.
That's a badass right there.
Yeah.
You just see her riding up to her 8 kids on her horse like, who's getting an ass whooping?
Oh,
like,
my
who's
goodness.
been misbehaving?
I just
pretty awesome.
Imagine her like headless horseman type thing, like running in just like...
fucked up and terrified.
With a belt just like whipping.
Just throwing pumpkins wrapped in belts at everyone. Like, take this, you naughty children.
And eventually passed away in her sleep one night.
Aww.
I was overcome with guilt because I felt more relief than sorrow that she had passed. That's really sad.
That is one of the most common forms of guilt when someone passes away, especially for anyone that requires like heavy duty care. Is like there is going to be a measure of relief because your life is going to be made easier from the fact that you don't have to like give that care anymore.
But then you're in pain because they're gone.
Yeah, and then you feel bad about the fact that you are slightly relieved, and that happens a lot in life too. It doesn't just happen when people pass away. It happens when lots of bad situations happen.
Right.
You know, so I know that guilt is something that's very natural, but know 2 things. 1, it is normal, and 2, you're not alone at all. Like that is very common, and the fact that you feel slight guilty or super guilty, depending on how you are, like that just shows that you are human, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like there really isn't. You know, it's like, that's just something that happens. Yeah. People that like celebrate, they're like, yes! Like there's something wrong with that.
Yeah.
But like just
maybe
acknowledging.
Maybe a little bit of psychopathy or something.
Yeah. That's just, you know, acknowledging the fact that your life is going to be made easier by that.
It's a normal human feeling.
It really is. Like we had 2 dogs when I grew up, and one of them required a lot of care because she had epilepsy. You know, so it was like constant medication and stuff like that. And we loved the dog like to death, and we always used to say like when the dog passed away, eventually we'd of course get a new one like right away. And then I moved out, and the dog lived to be really old, and she eventually passed away. And after she passed away, my parents were like, we're not getting another dog. Like we're so relieved that we don't have to like take care of something all the time every day, or arrange care if you go on like a slight vacation.
Yeah.
And like that's just something that happens, you know. Like we want to take a day trip to LA. Like, it's easier for us because our pets don't require, like, that much round-the-clock care. But anything that requires, like, that much responsibility from you, it's going to be a relief. That's just how things are.
Yeah. I was talking to my coworkers today about wanting another dog.
I hate you.
Because I want another dog. But we can't. It's just, like, it's a lot of responsibility and it's a lot of work. And it's just, it's hard when you want to travel all the time.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to take a quick pause here. I just looked over in the chat and I saw Adam,
Oh,
Robin.
it's Meadows.
It's Meadows.
Hello.
I want you to know we had people. We know Meadows. I want you to know we had people in town, and I think we were out at SeaWorld when it was Amanda's baby shower. We felt terrible. We're going to meet up with you guys. We're going to get you a baby gift. I swear to God in front of everyone that will happen. I love you to death. Okay, let's get back to the email.
Okay. Where am I now, though? Okay. I was overcome with guilt, blah, blah, blah. A few months later, as I was sleeping in the room we used to share, I slowly became conscious. That state where you're not really sure if you're dreaming or awake. And I realized the room smelled like it did when my grandma lived there. This very particularly elderly people smell. To me, my grandma smells a bit of talcum cream, soap, flowers, and yes, a dash of pee.
That's so funny.
That's
the
disgusting.
recipe for old people smell, I'm pretty sure.
Oh my God. Okay. Oh God, that's gross. I know it's normal, but gross. I slowly opened my eyes to see it was very early. Dawn was barely breaking, and there was a beautiful golden glow in the room. I took long, deep breaths, now convinced I was fully awake and I was not imagining the smell. I felt peace, I felt forgiveness, and I eventually fell back asleep. When I woke up a couple of hours later, all trace of the smell was gone. I didn't tell anyone of this because I couldn't explain it. I felt compelled to tell my mom, but didn't because I was afraid to stir up her sadness. A few months may have passed, and one day we were having a conversation where I felt I should share this with her. And as I did, she let me know that one of her sisters and her husband, my uncle, had experienced the same in their own house, where my grandma lived whenever she wasn't with us, if we went away on holiday or something. My mom said she believed this was her mom reassuring us she was in a good place. I don't know what to believe, but I choose to believe she is right. I will sign off for now, wishing you continued success. I enjoy your voices and dynamics. You make me laugh more than you freak me out, and I really appreciate that on a podcast about spooky things. Cheers, Bobby. Thank you so much.
Fantastic.
That's a really good story, and it's really interesting because that's happened in my family before too, where the spirit of this person went to visit all the different houses, and it was really cool. I don't know. I think it's a common, maybe not so common thing, but it happens.
Yeah.
So I totally understand where you're coming from on it. So
yeah, that's a wonderful story, and that's a perfect example too. When people ask us, like, do you want stories like more moving or touching, or are you looking for only scary stories like that? We want that stuff in particular. Like, that one is like awesome. Like, we got the one that people talk about a lot from when we first started, from Iris, about the moth and things like that.
That's why we had a whole feel good episode, which was sadly the least popular episode.
Our least popular episode ever, but that's okay.
But we did have a bunch of stories on there about things like this, and it's really cool. I don't know. I really liked it. So
one of the only times I've ever gotten choked up on the show is when I talked about my grandfather. And I think I've only told that story the one time, but like I really felt like he came to say bye to me, and that meant a lot to me, especially being 12-year-old and having something like that happen. And it might have just been something weird, or it might have actually been something special, and you don't know. All you know is that you know what you felt, and it puts you at peace. And I think that shit is very, very important, regardless of like your background. Yeah. So right on. Let's take a quick look at Twitch chat. God, stream chat? I keep doing that. Damn it.
Oh no, Meadows feels so unloved.
No, you are so loved. I swear we will get you something. All right, what else do we have? 3 a.m. in Ireland, but tuning in. Kevin McNamara. You, sir, are a fucking badass. Unless you're not a sir, in which case you, whatever you want to be called, are a fucking badass. Thank you so much for the support.
All the way from Ireland. That's crazy.
It's 3 a.m. there.
That's crazy.
Did you set an alarm, or were you just up? Did you stay up to watch? Because if you did, that's all. We'll try and wrap it up really fast so you can go to bed. So not really for everyone else that's listening and watching. A lot of people from Texas, and Texas is huge. And
Sam shared a story about her mom working in a care home for dementia patients, and that it happens all the time. That
people see something.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Right on.
But
Valerie says, a friend of mine came to us the night she passed. I'll never forget it. Most of us were states apart. Wow. That's incredible. That one's from YouTube as well, so I can only see the YouTube ones, and she can see the Twitch ones.
Momenti makes me laugh. I'd crash on my cousin's couch in Vegas for a week just for a chance to run into y'all.
That's so funny.
I will say so many people from Texas. It's crazy. I'm from Texas too. Whoop, whoop.
There's certain places that if we ever get to the point where we can do live shows, I want to do live shows. I want to do live shows in Vegas to start because it's really easy for us.
Yeah.
And people like to travel here. I want to do some in California because we've had a ton of support in California, and plus I love California.
Disney, man, Disney meetup. If we could
that
do
would be
like a
fucking
Disneyland
awesome.
And just go around and like take over rides and shit.
I would make sure that we would go to Haunted Mansion repeatedly until everyone got so fucking sick of it that we started haunting other rides. I want to do Texas. I think I just said that. I also want to do Colorado. I really want to do Colorado. So, and then of course, like the places where I'm from, like Illinois/Indiana, like that area, I kind of want to go back to as well. So,
yeah, there's
a lot of places, but we have a lot of people that reach out to us from all over the world. Like just right now, like someone over in Ireland is watching us at 3 a.m. So,
yeah, it's like
you guys are fantastic. We love you so much. So cool. Is there anything else that you're seeing on chat we should shout out before we get back to it?
Oh, that's so funny, Sam. Just best bring them live shows to the Isle of Man. I'll put you up.
I would totally do Isle of Man.
I would
100% fucking do Isle of Man.
I would totally go Isle of Man, go to Ireland,
I would do
UK,
a whole Europe trip. That'd be so
fucking
fucking fun.
That'd
we
be
just
amazing.
have to like make money off of this thing before we can start trying to travel.
We're poor. Fuck.
So, lots of stuff. I'm up designing for work. It's all good is what Kevin said about why he's still up. Wow. Cool. Good stuff. You guys should do Atlanta too. I think that's supposed to say Atlanta.
Oh, I do. I'm totally going to do the Texas Chainsaw Massacre sometime soon.
I almost fucking did it because it's one of the... I just did the Poltergeist episode, right?
Yeah.
It was one of the ones that I saw.
You can do that one then.
I'm giving this to people who are watching right now because this is not going to go in the episode. The other one that fucking blew my mind when I was reading up because I was going to do 2 originally, and then I saw how long Poltergeist was. And I really wanted to have Dominique Dunn be featured in that episode because I've never heard that, and it's despicable and disgusting what happened to her. So I wanted like that to be in there. But the other movie that blew my fucking mind was The Omen. Crazy shit happened when they filmed The Omen.
I believe it.
It's a movie about the son of the devil.
Yeah.
And like I was like, yeah, it's boring, whatever. I've barely watched it, I think, in passing. And then I was reading the stuff that happened during the filming, and I was like, holy fucking shit, fuck. I cannot wait to do another episode about haunted movies.
It's crazy.
So, it's good stuff, though. And Texas Chainsaw Massacre was also on there, which
so
was
dumb.
directed by the guy who directed Poltergeist.
What?
Yeah. And
no,
then
you're kidding.
When they remade it in like 2010.
Do you think he's just like haunted?
He just directs haunted stuff.
Oh,
when they
okay.
remade it, when it was the 3D version in like 2008 or 2010 or whenever it came out, it was him again.
Oh,
yeah.
What?
Because I didn't know how to say his name because it's Tobe. And I was like, is it Tobe or Toby? So I went and watched an interview with him, and it was the interview for when they re-released Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D, and it's Toby.
Okay.
It's funny, too. One of the actors was like, I didn't like working with him because it was very clear he had a really bad drug problem.
Oh, shit.
And there's so much shit I want to talk to you guys about when it comes to these things that we look up that's not at all relevant to the story we're trying to tell. So it's like, I have to have a separate
technically,
movie
it's
podcast.
all relevant. Fuck it.
It is. We need to have like a breakdown show where we recap the episode that we just did. It's like how the Adventure Zone podcast has episodes every now and then called the Adventure Zone.
Oh my god.
Which is just the most perfect fucking name I've ever heard. But yeah, there's a lot of extra stuff that we don't toss into the episodes because it kind of like takes you off the point.
Yeah.
But right on. Cool
beans.
The Exorcist had a serial killer in it. The Exorcist is on there a lot and all those things. Meadows says Nerd Chills.
It's dead, Meadows. It's dead.
Just let it die, man. It's gone. Nerd Chills was the first podcast that we did, and it was a video game podcast. And the thing that's awesome about this one is that we found a niche or a niche. However the fuck you want to say it. We found an audience because we're specific. You know what I mean? And Nerd Chills was like general nerd culture, which is just too much to cover. So we never picked up that big of an audience. So eventually that one went by the wayside, which is sad. I graduated high school on 6/6/2006, and my friends and I totally watched the movie after the ceremony. That's fucking hilarious.
Wow.
Creepy, too. We also had 666 downloads on Monday, and I was like, that's super creepy. Or that's just from, like, regular downloads. Yeah, I was like, that's super creepy, but I'm really happy to fucking see that, because that's a good number. Like, when you're looking at stuff, 665 would have probably been better, or 667.
You poor bastard for listening to Nerd Chills.
Right.
You poor bastard.
It wasn't bad. We had some really good talks on it. It's just, not all of us were super involved. A lot of times Robin was playing games on her phone.
Yeah, sorry.
So like we'd bring her on for specific episodes because she was like an expert in that field, and she'd be like, "Wait, what are we talking about? Where am I? Cool, I'm gonna go play Overwatch."
Yeah.
So fun stuff. Right on. I think I'm next for the stories. Yes? No?
Yeah, you're next because
Cool.
I got one left.
Right on. So this next one goes, "Hello again, scary friends." So we'll figure out who this is from at the end of it because they've sent it.
I just read something and I'm just like dying. I told my daughters about Scary-ish. They finally got interested from the twin stories because they're twins and ginger, so the definition of evil.
That's the best thing I've ever read. And also 100% accurate.
That's so mean, though.
Burn them. Not really. They are probably wonderful human beings.
Oh my god.
Don't do that. They just don't have souls. You should do a movie club, pick one movie, then talk about it on Discord or something. That would be super fun. I really want to do like game days where we all can play something together.
Yeah.
Right now too, Robin found this on what is it called? Where we found the games. I forget the name of it. You sent it to me. It's about games that you can get.
It's like a Humble Bundle. So there was a Humble Bundle with a bunch of horror games, and I'm thinking about getting it, but it's $15. So I'm like, do I want to spend $15 we don't really have on this?
Here's the thing, though, for you guys watching. If you do $15 on the Humble Bundle, you will get Friday the 13th, which I play all the time. Hillary Clinton's ass has followed us. It's really nice of her ass to follow us on Twitch.
Oh, my God.
You will get Friday the 13th, along with a bunch of other games, and Dead by Daylight, which I will eventually transition to.
Yeah, see, that's why
everyone fucking plays that now.
I was thinking about getting it just for Friday the 13th and Dead by Daylight, but it also includes a lot of other shit. Yeah,
you probably get 8 more games on top of that.
It includes BioShock, too.
Yeah, it includes...
So I was like,
I think there's one more that blew my mind, too, that was on there.
It's very tempting, but it's just like... I don't know.
Yeah, for anyone who's interested in gaming and might want to play games with us later, those are really good horror-themed games that we are definitely talking about doing. And then a movie watching night would also be super cool to do.
Yeah, I want to do that.
I forget who it was that said that there's a service where you can all watch movies together, and they were getting ready to watch something. But you were prepping for the con at the time, so we didn't have time to do it.
Yeah.
But we're gonna organize one of those sooner or later. So, right on. So should I get back to it?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay. That's okay.
Sorry. Big tangent. Sorry.
So this next email goes like this. "Hello again, scary friends. So lately, I haven't been sleeping well. I struggle to fall asleep, and when I do, there is a scratching in the wall behind my head that wakes me up. So that's pretty fucked up to start.
Yeah.
You've captured my attention with your opening sentence. Something that's really
good. Is that
good.
legit the opening sentence?
It's the second sentence, so I count it.
Okay,
so,
cool.
I've also been having weird dreams. I get a feeling that someone is watching me from outside my window and trying to get into the house. These dreams always wake me up, and the sensation is so real I can't tell if they are dreams or if some creepy person is actually watching me. Maybe it's my crazy ex-boyfriend."
What?
That's another story. That's another email.
Yeah,
in and of
that's
itself.
totally another email where, man, no.
Anywho, last night I had...
Okay, I just want to
God.
share.
Here we go. Strap in, folks. It's a Robin ex-boyfriend story.
I've had an ex-boyfriend where I was at work and he found out I was dating a particular person, and I was super afraid to go home. So I had like 4 of my guy coworkers come with me home, and
this sounds like the beginning of a gangbang, but I swear it's not that. At least I don't think it is.
This creepy dude was sitting on my couch in my living room. Granted, I had a studio, so it was like living room / bedroom / kitchen all together in one room. But he was sitting on my couch in the dark. I come home from work, and this guy's sitting in my living room in the fucking dark. And my coworkers had to be like, "Get the fuck out."
Some people want that really creepy, dramatic entrance. Like, if he could have found like a chair like this that swivels,
where he'd like turn around.
Exactly. Like, "I've been waiting for you." And if you had like a white cat, he could be petting at the same time. That would have been perfect. So cool.
Crazy ex-boyfriends. They're exes for a reason.
Yeah, that's true. I once had an ex-girlfriend text me 800 times while I slept. Yeah, no joke. I think she downloaded an app that would let her like resend shit without having to copy and paste it. But I woke up and my phone was just like losing its fucking mind. And it was the same message over and over and over. I think it was like, "Are you with her?" And it was just 800 fucking times. So I'm like, block that fucking number.
That's
crazy.
Super creepy.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get back to the email. Anywho, I love it when they put transitions in here that sound like, "Will you get back to my fucking email already?" Because that's how I read them.
Oh, okay. So, well, I'm gonna
interrupt
just
again.
Shout out to Panda. We owe you a baby gift. Sorry.
We do. We'll get it. We promise. Okay. Anywho, last night I had the dreams, and the dreams are in quotes again. But at the end, I heard the scratching, and I threw my phone at the window and dragged myself out of bed and across to the window. My body was very heavy, and it was hard to move. I started banging on the window, screaming, "I can fucking see you, fuck off."
Oh my God.
But my mouth was hard to move, and my words felt thick and heavy. And again today, I'm facing down a class of kids on hardly any sleep. This person sounds like a teacher. That's terrifying.
My God, yeah.
Or they're like going to school
for education,
and they have to like present or something like that. This whole thing got me thinking, though, what's the first stage of a haunting again? So I'll just put the noise down to a mouse and assume I'm watching too much horror before bed.
Okay.
Feeling like you're going crazy is enough to make you go crazy, though. That is 100% true. In fact, that is one of the main triggers of people that have any sort of mental disorders is people treating them like they're fucking crazy or talking to them like they're crazy, because then they feel like they're going crazy and they're acting totally normal. So don't be fucking assholes just because people have a diagnosis that you don't understand. Yeah, I just want to toss that in there really fast. I'm sure tonight will be better. I'm going to a late night screening, in parentheses, of Hereditary, which I've heard is like the most terrifying fucking movie on the planet.
Yes, I really want to watch it. Like,
with
really
my roommate. No fear of nightmares after that, I'm sure. Smiley face.
That's
Love
hilarious.
the podcast, Tessa. Well, it's been 2 months.
Let us know how Hereditary was.
I hope you're doing okay. Yeah, I really want to know how Hereditary is. So yeah, that's really sad. This was sent June 25th, so it's almost been exactly 2 months since this was sent. So nice. Wow. That was good. That's super fucking creepy, and I'm hoping you're just having nightmares and there's nothing more to that.
I hope it's just nightmares, because fuck
that shit. Yeah.
Momentai says too legit to quit.
We have that.
We have that cross stitched in a frame
because we say it so
room.
Goddamn much. I just don't want to get sued by MC Hammer because that dude's been sued by everyone on the planet, and I imagine he's just waiting to collect on someone.
Yeah. Shout out to Andy for cross stitching it for us.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things that's in our loft. So.
I love cross stitch work. So if you guys ever want to cross stitch like a scary-ish thing or anything, we'll put it up, because like I have some drift loons that are cross stitched up there that I got from my friend. I just love it. It's amazing. Please send us those things. I
like that there's Pikachu and Mimikyu right next to them up there. And there's the picture of Kevin Taylor, or is it Kevin Butler? Kevin Butler. Because
I met him at a convention.
If you remember the old Sony commercials where it's the guy who's like supposed to be like the CEO of Sony, just like talking shit to all the other companies. Yeah. That's Kevin Butler. And she met him at E3?
No. I met him because I used to be a GameStop store manager. So I met him at a store manager's conference. And he wrote my Island Queen on it.
Yeah, to my Island Queen, which just tells you it might be Kevin Butler that was the guy sitting in her living room in the dark. Because that's a very familiar thing to sign on a picture. Kind of fucked up, Robin, just saying.
You shut up. Fuck you. Okay.
So, right on. I want to hear more X stories, LOL. That's a whole different fucking podcast, too, Cat. So...
stories for days.
Yeah, we should start we talked about starting a regular pop culture one. You know what I mean? I think we talked about that for a little while with one of our old co-hosts. Yeah. Maybe we'll do something like that, and then if some of you guys cross-pollinate podcasts, you can listen to some more fucked up personal stuff.
Yeah, because it'll be way more personal in that podcast.
Yeah, but we'll see. We have a lot of ideas for things that we want to get going here, but...
Oh my God. Ooh. TDP says, my sister did one that says, this isn't a crack house. It's a crack home.
That's really good. Boy, do I got some X stories for you, says Momentai 13. That's so fucking funny. Oh my God.
Funny. That's hilarious.
All right. I think it's up to you now.
Okay. So me turn. All right. So, this one, the subject is Deja Vu, ? So, hello. I know this topic was discussed a long time ago, but I wanted to share my deja vu / dream experiences. Lucky for you, we take any stories, anytime, any experiences, any when.
Yeah, we don't judge people. It's like I think there's a joke by Jim Gaffigan where it's like, have you ever watched an old movie like from 15 years ago and you want to talk about it with your friends, but they don't want to talk about it anymore? And he's like, I just watched Heat. Does anyone want to talk about Heat? It came out in like 1994. It was, for a long time, the only movie to have Robert De Niro and Al Pacino in the same fucking movie. And it's about bank robbers. It has
that's kind of cool.
Has Val Kilmer in it, too. So I've never
neat.
seen it. It's supposed to be like 6.5 hours long. It's longer than Roots. Not really. It's like 3 hours, 3 to 3.5 hours. It's long as
long as Pearl Harbor.
I've never seen Pearl Harbor because I don't care about watching a super inaccurate movie just for the sake of seeing Josh Hartnett and Ben Affleck. I heard Cuba Gooding's really good in that movie.
I really thought Josh Hartnett was really cute in that movie.
The only movie I really like Josh Hartnett in is Lucky Number 11. I could talk for fucking days on Lucky Number 11. That movie's amazing.
I think he's good in The Faculty.
I have only seen The Faculty once. She didn't realize Jon Stewart was in The Faculty. I had to go to IMDb to prove it to her.
Yeah, I had no idea.
If you guys don't know, Jon Stewart, who used to host The Daily Show, he was in The Faculty. He went for an interview to promote the movie on The Daily Show when it used to be hosted by Craig Kilborn. And Craig Kilborn used to do 5 questions, and Jon Stewart got 5 for 5. And then, like, a month later, he took over The Daily Show. So, yeah, there you go. I'm a fucking nerd. Like, you don't know. So, all right, keep going.
All right.
Sorry for this tangent. This tangent's been sponsored by Jon Stewart.
Okay. Jon Stewart, hit us up. Okay. I've had many throughout my life, but the earliest memory is from 4th grade. Maybe. But the most mind-boggling one is where I dreamt of a scene from the show The End of the Fucking World, where Alyssa is dancing in that bar with her father. Never seen it. Don't know what scene this is.
Yep, sounds cool.
But keep in mind, I've never heard of, let alone seen the show before yet, and I dreamt of that scene. I want to say I dreamt it before it even came out, but I don't want to tell a fib, so But I honestly believe it was before. Okay, so I'm just going to say she had an emoji that went like this, so that's my this noise.
That's a good way to read that, I think.
Yeah. So, but I honestly believe it was before the release. Anyway, it was a while, maybe 3 to 4 months after the dream, that I watched the show. When that scene came on, and I was like, I dreamt this. I've seen it before. Actually, I've had this experience today at work. Believe it or not, I can't. This is a different one.
This is probably why they were like, I'm going to send this email now because this happened to them on the day they sent it.
Yeah,
and then it reminded them of a different instance.
I can't ever remember how long time passes from the dream to the deja vu moments, but it has to be at least a month. I think that's usually what happens to me, too. I have a dream, and months later is when I get that deja vu moment. And I think I've said it before on the podcast where I was like sitting in my cube with my coworkers like, I've been through this already before. This is deja vu. It's weird.
I've done this before.
I know Kung
We've
Fu.
been here before. That's so funny.
Anyway, my friend and I have this game where one of us goes into the walk-in cooler, the other one will turn off the light, and the one in the cooler has to take a picture of the warning you're not locked in glow-in-the-dark sign.
Warning you're not locked in?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was going to be way darker than that. Like, we go in the cooler and then we stab someone.
No. I did so when my friend turned off the light, and after coming out and laughing about it, I showed her the picture, and I instantly felt the deja vu thing, and just said to my friend, I had a dream about this where I'm showing you this picture. Usually in the dreams, I have a random little tidbits of my day that I later actually do and experience months later, but nothing too detailed like Adam's. Usually the dreams are so short and mundane that I forget them and I don't write them down. I do for the more detailed and weird dreams I have. They aren't related, but they're really weird. Anyway, thanks for reading. I'll definitely keep you updated if I have any more dream/deja vu things. Sincerely, Brittany. Thank you so much for your story, really Brittany. A deja vu is like a legit thing, I think.
One thing I will say, and I want this as a PSA, like a public service announcement. I feel like everyone's going to have deja vu, and sometimes it's going to be really intense. But my public service announcement to you is that when it happens, don't act like the world just came to an end.
Yeah.
Because it blows other people's minds when you freak out like Robin does sometimes, because she'll pause life to let everyone know, like, this has happened before. And it's like, of course it has. We make ramen 3 times a fucking day.
Fuck you.
So it's really, though, especially for things that you do frequently, like the specific scenario and like all the clothes someone's wearing or a song playing in the background might trigger you where you're like, this is deja vu. It's not just me remembering something that happened last time.
Yeah.
But don't freak out about it, because when you freak out about it like too hard, people are like, okay, yeah, we have done this before. You might need to lay down. So there you go. End of PSA. After I just told you guys not to treat people like they're crazy. So yeah.
Fuck you.
Fun stuff. Good stuff.
All right. Let's read some stuff from the stream chat. I'll say the words instead because you are dumb.
As soon as I hate you. As soon as I looked up, I see plus Ben Affleck is a total shit. That's hilarious. Poor Ben Affleck, but I agree with you.
And then Glitch says, why does Adam like the Death Note movie? And no, I can't leave it alone. It's because it's the only thing he's ever seen. And
it's because it's the greatest movie that's ever been filmed in the history of time.
He's joking. He's not serious.
It's the Citizen Kane of our day.
I hate you.
And anything that they derive from that, like the TV show, is just going to be shit.
No, the anime is really good. I liked it.
I'm pretty sure the movie came first.
The Japanese movies or shows, I think, are really good too. The live action ones. I just started watching The King's Avatar, I'm pretty sure is what it's called. It was recommended to us by Jess and Jen, who we saw at the convention. And it's really super fucking good. So, well, do you like that one or do you like Hataraku Saibo?
Well, we already watched all of that and have caught up with it. So that one is Cells at Work for those of you who don't speak the language Robin just uttered. But yeah, that one's really good. That one's about the inside of a body and all of your cells have different characters or avatars that represent them.
Of all the shows they introduced to us this past weekend, that one is my new favorite.
It's
obsession.
Really fucking funny.
It's so good.
It's really good. There's just not a bunch of seasons for you to watch. I think there's only 7 or 8 episodes out right now for Cells at Work. So
yeah,
that one's also really good. Roman says, I have a deja vu every year of me sitting in class looking out a window and I smell iron and everything just closes in on itself.
That's
Smell
crazy.
is the most detailed sense attached to your memory.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
That's 100% true. I remember I was at Indiana Beach back when I used to live there, in the Indiana region. We used to go once a year, and I was waiting to get on the Hoosier Hurricane, which is the big wooden roller coaster at Indiana Beach.
Okay.
And I just smelled something. I still have no idea what it was to this day.
Boop.
And as soon as I smelled it, it was a really nice smell, a sweet smell, like someone baking almost, which is really weird to smell.
Cinnamon rolls or something?
I don't know what it was, but as soon as I smelled it, I was like, holy shit, I haven't smelled that since I lived on this house I forgot I lived in. It was bizarre. I was standing on that roller coaster, we used to live on this street, and our neighbors were someone my dad knew. They're called, the last name is the Espinosas. They're the nicest people in the world. And I just remembered all of it all at once, just from one whiff of something. And I was like, I haven't smelled whatever the fuck that was. It must have been someone's perfume or cologne or deodorant. Who the fuck knows? But yeah, smell is the weirdest thing to have attached to a memory.
Yeah.
So when we described old people's smell, there's always that sprinkle of urine. So.
Oh my god, you're so gross.
Meadow says play more Friday the 13th. That I can do. I played on Xbox last night. I didn't stream it, but I played for 4 hours because I like playing a dead game apparently.
Yeah, that game is hella dead, especially on Xbox.
That's not true. It's more dead on PC. Because I was actually able to find games yesterday on Xbox. So.
But it kept crashing, man.
People are fucking assholes. You know what happens is that the way this game is set up, there's 8 players all at once. One person plays Jason. The other 7 play camp counselors trying to either kill Jason or escape. And if you are selected to be the host of the game, basically everyone connects to you, to your internet connection, which means if you get pissed off because Jason killed you and you quit, you crash the game for all 8 fucking people. And that's what kept happening, is that someone else would be Jason and the person who was the host, which is completely random and you can't change it, would fucking quit and the game would crash. Which is super annoying. If you play video games, don't be a fucking asshole. I had some dude freak out because I survived and he didn't. And he privately messaged me you're a terrible teammate. So I was like, look, I'm going to be really professional here and tell you, suck my fucking dick. And then I reported him.
That's not what you said. He was way more professional
I
than
was
that.
more professional. I did report him.
Momenti says he got his girlfriend into us. Thank you so much for sharing the goodness that is our podcast.
We hope it's goodness and not garbage.
Hunter x Hunter from Glitch Grim. I have seen parts of that, but I haven't seen a bunch of it. And My Hero. Everyone's into My Hero now. My Hero Academia.
We haven't started really watching it. We sort of did.
I started watching it, and I think I'm only on episode 4 or 5.
Nathan C says, is that the Chinese anime? King's Avatar is a Chinese anime.
Oh, it is?
100% true. Yeah, because remember they kept warning us, you might be bothered by the Cantonese. I think that's what they kept saying. And I'm like, I can't tell the difference between the different dialects of Cantonese and Mandarin. He can't tell the difference
between any of the Asian languages.
I can kind of understand the difference between Vietnamese, because I've heard you speak it, or I've heard people speak it enough around me, and Japanese, because they do sound significantly different.
Because you met my entire family, so now you're
I didn't meet a lot of her family.
Everybody's talking Vietnamese around you, and you're like, I don't know what's going on, but okay.
I'm just sitting there when everyone laughs, you laugh. And like, even if they're making fun of me, I'm like, no, actually, I was like, do dishes, be productive, and don't look like an asshole sitting here pretending to know a language you don't understand. It's really intimidating to be around people that know multiple languages, by the way. Food Wars, she has watched that. Only DBZ is what Meadow says. I've watched DBZ so many fucking times. I'm almost caught up on Super, too. Don't spoil anything for me.
I really love Shokugeki. Like, oh my god, addicting.
Team killing low-key made Friday the 13th more interesting. I 100% agree. Quitting is when it becomes really annoying because it crashes the game. I have been run over while people are escaping in the car while I was trying to get into the car so many fucking times. I got ran over. After I put the fucking battery in the car. I put the gasoline in the car. I started the car. Someone else asked to drive. I got out. They got in. They ran me over. The cool thing about Friday the 13th, I don't know why this is such long tangents because I'm pissed off, is that you can call Tommy Jarvis, who's one of the characters from the Friday the 13th franchise. So one of the people that gets killed during the game will get resurrected as Tommy Jarvis, who's this super overpowered character. And if you get resurrected, typically when you come back, you want to help people, like get more people out and like make more people survive. So I ran over there because Jason's trying to keep the car from escaping, and I was fighting Jason. So you know what happened? They fucking ran me over a second time in the same goddamn game. That's why that game is so much fun, because you're like, what the fuck just happened? And like everyone else is laughing their ass off. I was so nice. I'm usually really nice to people online. But like sometimes you're in a car that has 4 seats and Jason's chasing you and you're like, I can't stop to pick people up. I'm fucking leaving. Sometimes you take pieces with you that other people need to... I've taken like the fuse that people need to call the cops. I've taken the propeller with me in the car and I've left by myself and been like, fuck everyone. You guys are going to die.
You're a dickhead.
It's fun sometimes.
So Momentai and Glitch, I have watched both One Punch Man and The Devil is a Part-Timer. And those are really good. I've watched a lot of anime. I just haven't watched like the big super long ones like Boku no Hero. Like I just like don't have the energy, although I have a million.
There's so much in the queue. We really do.
Like I don't know. And there's a bunch of Korean drama and stuff that I need to watch too that I haven't gotten to, but I'm starting other ones that I'm like an idiot
says
for.
Check out Overlord. I've seen Overlord a lot of places. Who was it that said, have you killed Jason yet? I don't see it, but I saw it scroll by earlier. It's TDP 2713. I have gotten to the point where we could kill Jason. It's a really long, involved process that I won't go over. And it glitched. The game fucking glitched.
That sucks.
Yeah, it was really bad. There's a bunch of stuff you have to do, and we did all of it. And it started playing the audio like we killed Jason, and then the game just stayed the same.
Bulls.
And like everyone was like just twitching everywhere. So.
Roman says to watch American Horror Story or Gotham, and we've watched both.
We haven't watched all of Gotham. I think we stopped at like season 3.
Yeah.
That dude is like discount Joseph Gordon-Levitt, so
hot.
She enjoys watching it.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I like Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I think he's a great actor.
Commissioner Gordon, what
I
up?
hate you so fucking much. But yeah, the Lizard Man arc got a little weird. Right on. Okay, so I think that's a good break to talk to the Twitch stream chat. I'm gonna get it right one of these times.
You should just let me do it.
Is it you or is it me now?
I just read mine, so it's you.
Okay,
You're
cool.
reading the last one.
So this is the last one. Right on. So we'll get back into it. This is also, I believe, the longest one that we have. So it goes like this.
Yes, Carly, watch anime and video games. Do it. Do it.
Do it. She said earlier that she could put an ex-boyfriend or an ex channel in the Discord.
I'm not going to put stories in there.
Put creepy ex stories. I think that's a good way to tie it in with like scary-ish, because sometimes that shit can be scary-ish, especially getting stalked. All right, so I'm going to get to this email. Hi, you guys. Hello.
Hello. Sorry, I'm
so
like trying
delayed.
to sip my coffee.
This is Emmanuel, and I'm a Mexican living in Taiwan. That's the second time tonight that we've had someone from Mexico living in a foreign country. Yeah, the other one was
cool.
in the Netherlands, I think. Yeah.
No, Amsterdam.
Amsterdam. That's the Netherlands.
Oh.
It's the capital of the Netherlands.
Oh, my bad.
Sure. So
geography, not my thing.
I cannot grade.
Kill me.
I hate you. I cannot grade the level of addiction your podcast has caused me. I started listening to your show on Spotify 4 days ago, and when I least expected it, I was already on episode 10. 10 exclamation point. I mean, I have a full-time job and shit, but I still just can't stop.
Aww.
That makes me feel really good.
Yeah, that's really good.
It's like we're cooking up like a brand of heroin that doesn't like cause people to die.
Are we your own personal brand of heroin?
Fucking do it. I almost didn't say that because of it.
Twilight.
We got
Team Edward.
I hate you so much. Team Fan. I'd like to point out really fast that in the most recent episode, I gave a shout out to everyone. Do you sleep with a fan on or fan off? And we did hashtags Team No Fan and Team Fan. And the support I have experienced for hashtag Team Fan has been overwhelming. I love you people for making me right and Robin wrong, even though this is
Where my
opinion-based,
friends
there's no
at?
wrong answer. So
Team
that's
no
been
fan.
super awesome. Quick shout out to
Dang
Copyrighted
it.
Snake for following us on Twitch while this is all going on.
Hello.
I'll keep going with the email. I've never been a fan of a podcast, so you kind of popped my podcast addiction cherry. You have been kind. It was not
That's
painful.
hilarious.
Smiley face. I would
What?
like to share with you something I experienced here in Taiwan not long ago. I have Taiwan, and he's from Mexico. Like, that's crazy. That's just so impressive to be that much of a world traveler.
Yeah.
I have one brother, Fausto. He is 6 years younger than me, and since we were kids, he was always more sensitive to paranormal activity. I never was. I never have been. However, I believe in it and would rather not mess with it. My brother has seen many things, and I will share with you some other time. But this story is more about the huge difference between us. The question of us having this huge difference of sensitivity, and in parentheses, do not take me wrong, I am very thankful, followed me until I met my boyfriend here in, I don't know how to say this, they put pronunciation, reads like Kaohsiung, Taiwan. My boyfriend, like my brother, is also very sensitive to energies and spirits, and we talked a lot about it when we started dating. Since we moved in together, the manifestation of these energies that used to be very detailed shapes he would see when awake have transformed now into very vivid dreams that he remembers to detail every time he wakes up.
That's crazy.
Lots of dreams this episode. Dreams and
we
deja
don't plan
vu.
this out. It just happens.
Yeah,
I
I think people get inspired by something we do on a particular topic, and that's why these all seem to run together.
That makes sense.
When I told Lena, my Chinese teacher, about this situation, she told me that the reason could be that my soul is heavier than his, and that is why I can only feel but not see or hear stuff.
That's interesting.
Heavier, I asked her, thinking about my calorie intake before I took a massive bite of the burrito I was eating day during our Chinese class. I know she's in Taiwan, or they are in Taiwan eating a burrito, like, fuck it. She then asked me about our birthday details and told me two things that I can swear are very true. One, I can sense energies of the living. Sounds like, well, duh. But what I mean is that people's moods... People's moods affect me even when we do not know each other. Once I went to a bar with
like
two female friends.
Empathic?
Empathy. Yeah.
Or an empath.
An
or
empath.
whatever.
Yeah, I like that. That's the term that they used in Heroes back in the day for people that could absorb other people's powers. An empath is something I like to use. So.
All right.
So I went to the bar with two female friends. We were dancing to beats from the 90s when I suddenly stopped and asked them to come with me outside for a smoke. One of them followed and saw that my expression changed from the joy of singing along wannabe to a very dark, serious one. There's going to be a fight, I said to her. In reply, too many men inside, she asked, laughing. I do not know. I can just tell you there is going to be a fight. As I was finishing speaking this last sentence, the other friend came out with a very annoyed expression on her face. Oh man, someone just started a fight, she said.
Wow.
The friend that came out with me looked at me confused. I told her I could not explain exactly what I felt. The best description that came to my head was as if we were all swimming happily under blue and crystalline water, and suddenly the water turned dark and its level was decreasing rapidly, leaving the place without oxygen. Excuse my metaphor, I still cannot explain these sort of feelings.
That's crazy.
This shit's 100% legit. Like, I don't know if this particular instance is, but I remember my brother and I were out doing something, like just hanging out, and we came home. My brother is 4 years older than me, so he could drive before I could. So being 12, I was like, the freedom you experience growing up and then you turn 16 and you can finally leave the house. I got to experience that at 12 because my brother was super fucking cool and he would take me places. And we came home dead silent. Nothing is going on in the house. And as soon as we walked in, we both looked at each other. We're like, fuck. Because something about the house, just being in the house and the way it felt, like it was completely quiet. Everything seemed perfectly peaceful. We knew right away, like, mom and dad had a fight. They had a fight. They had a really big fucking fight.
Because you can feel it in the air.
You just feel it in the air. It's something like when people say, like, you can cut the tension with a knife.
It's true.
Like, it's because you feel that palpable thing. So, like, I totally agree with that. I once read an article about, like, celebrities and how they have, like, this really, like, intense presence where you can almost tell that someone's around you without ever seeing them. And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And then I read an article from one person who's like, a Hollywood insider that would be at parties, and they said that they thought that was complete bullshit. They've never felt that from anyone. And they're at a party one time, and all of a sudden they just felt like overwhelmed. And they were like, I wonder what's going on. And they walked around. Charlton fucking Heston walked in the party.
Wow.
And it was like a low-level party, and he just knew someone that was there. And he walked in, and everyone said they felt the same thing. Like, they didn't see him come in. He just, like, snuck in with some other people.
That's
and
crazy.
He's walking around, and everyone's like, what the fuck's going on? And probably that feeling coupled with, like, the silence of people being like, that's Charlton fucking Heston right there.
Oh,
like, that
goodness.
just overwhelms you really quick. But, okay, sorry. Big tangent from the email. Okay. Number 2. The weight of my soul can be added to someone's that is lighter than me. Yes, you might know where I'm going with this. My boyfriend's is way lighter than mine, and together we reach a point where energies do not affect his daily life as before.
Oh, that's really good.
We're like you're someone's anchor.
Yeah, and you kind of balance each other out. So that's really neat.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Before he told me once, quote, I slept all night, which I found quite redundant and pointless, but later I knew that he would spend all night up, unable to sleep until dawn. So like you meet someone, then all of a sudden you have the peace where you can sleep.
Wow.
Based on this, Bazi, in quotes, B-A-Z-I, reads like B-A-T-S. Bots. I don't know how to say that. I'm sorry. I'm going to go with bots. Number is that... Okay, yeah, this is... I'm going to go ahead and mark that. B-A-Z-I. Do you know how to say that? No?
Botsy?
Botsy. Cool. We're going to go with that. Based on this Botsy number is that Chinese people came up for names for their kids. They have to find elements, meanings, and number of strokes per character that balance the newborn's astrological weight for them to have a good fortune life. When I came to Taiwan, the same teacher gave me a name. She did the calculations and came up with, and it's Chinese symbols that I cannot read. It just says, reads like Fang, which represents 2 horses running together. She said I was born to move. And it makes sense because you were dancing earlier in the story. And with 2 horses in front of me, I would reach those places faster. I honestly haven't stopped traveling since.
Oh, wow.
I know it is not scary, but is a bit interesting, I think. Thank you for reading my message if you do. Many more thanks if you read this on your podcast, which I pray for you to do. And we did, so that totally worked out. I love your style, your sense of humor, and chemistry. Who knows, maybe your Botsy is also a match. I don't know. Someone do the math. We're both bad at math.
Wait, what?
Who knows, your Botsy maybe also be a match, because like that's what they described earlier.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that thing that we read. As you could read, English is not my mother language, so I apologize for any weird sentences you might have seen above. It's one of the best written emails I've gotten so far. I love Robin's charisma and Adam's wit. I hate your Japanese and Spanish pronunciation, though. Ha ha, kidding. I will keep telling my friends about your podcast. It is very cool. Thank you so much for sending that. We really, really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So we're trying to improve our pronunciation. We're doing the best we can.
B-A-Z-I in Chinese. Maybe it's Batzi.
It says it's pronounced B-A-Z-I. So, or T-S. B-A-T.
Yeah, maybe it's
B-A-T-S.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. So, fun stuff.
In the sun.
I hate you so much. So we'll do one more quick stop.
Oh, and then giveaway.
Patreon giveaway. And we have to do the Patreon giveaway announcement as well. So let's read some of this stream chat. Fucking nailed it.
Okay.
What?
You whisper to yourself, fucking nailed it.
I did nail it. I'm very proud of that. I'm scrolling up and I see Nate and C say, drink when they say I hate you. Man, you'd be really fucking drunk.
Get fucked up. Don't, though. Not good for you. Don't do it.
It's fun, though.
You're fun. Kind of, sort of, almost.
Do it with friends you trust.
Yes.
Just like anything else.
Yep. Safety first. Safety in numbers.
says Full Metal Alchemist and Death Note. I know, those are the best movies out there. Team Fan. Another Team Fan. Team Fan. It's hot as balls in Texas, LOL. We live in fucking Vegas.
Yeah.
Team Fan should be like the only thing that lives in Vegas. Team No Fan are insane. No offense. You're on your phone.
It's because I'm scary-ish Facebook. Sorry.
Okay, I'm like, why are you on your phone? In your face, Robone. LOL, JK says Glitch Grim. Team Fan all day. Another Team Fan. Oh, it makes me so
Carly
happy.
was saying that she's starting to call her sister Robone.
Robone? That's so funny. Meadows says best show ever. I hope he's referring to this one and not to Nerd Chills. My husband is obsessed with DBZ, so he'll be thrilled over this.
No, it's DBZ. That's what he's referring to.
Oh, okay. Right on. That makes sense.
Do you agree?
No, I don't think it's the best show ever. I will say that just because there's so many shows I haven't seen. So, plus I really like Sword Art Online. I really, really like that show. I seriously need to get in the video. Okay, I've reached the top. Wow, you guys talked a lot. I did too. Lots of people agreeing with Team Fan. Like to see that. I'm team fan and air conditioner turned down to like 65. That's my fucking spirit animal right there. I mean, like, I cannot fucking stand, like, even in the winter, I'm like, do not turn the heat up. I don't want the heat kicking on. I lived in a fucking apartment building where the rent was like $600 for a 2-story apartment because they told me flat out, like, the insulation is shit. Like, the floor is paper thin. It's going to cost you a lot in the winter to run the heat. And I'm like, cool. I have thermo socks and hoodies. That will never bother me. And I kept all my fans on at all times. I lived there for a year and a half, and it was fucking amazing.
Insane. I immediately turn the fan off when I'm cold.
Yeah, she turns the fan off all the time in the room, and the circulation stops, and then you walk in there, and it's like 190 degrees.
Yeah, well, but you kind of get used to it, because, like, once you go through a month in the summer, then by the time it's turning back down to, like, 105, 100 degrees, you're like, oh, man, it feels nice outside. So,
I think I might actually have to develop a scariest drinking game and, like, official rules for that. So we'll see what we wind up doing with that. We'll do like beers, and we should have just one episode where we get drunk. I think it'd be really funny.
It didn't go well with Nerd Chills.
It went terrible with Nerd Chills. We got
now.
so drunk. It was like a 2.5-hour episode. No one's gonna want to hear that. Very Heaven's Gate. It's funny. Podcast drinking game. Team No Fan in Vegas are literally cacti. That's fucking great.
That's me. I'm prickly.
You are prickly. It's a real feel of 104 with a humidity of 83 in Nassau Bay, Texas. I think I said that right. That sounds fucking horrible, by the way. 83% humidity. I remember there was one day where I went running. I used to be in really good shape, by the way. I did like a 6-mile run, and it was 95 degrees outside, and it was 95% humidity, and it was the worst thing I ever experienced. But I told myself I was not going to give up. I was going to get through my run, and I did.
Did you die?
Did I what?
Did you die?
No, I didn't die. That's why I'm still here.
Are you sure?
Yep, still here.
Okay.
Cool. And that's just about everything that we have in Stream Chat. Nailed it. So proud of myself.
Yeah, Nerd Chills that episode was not hilarious. I had a friend that told me couldn't get through 10 minutes of it. It was so horrible.
It wasn't that bad. We weren't drunk to start. So, I mean, if you couldn't get through 10 minutes, then that was just the show itself being not very good. So I see a lot of stuff that pops up in like nerd culture, especially in gaming news, where I'm like, I want to talk about this, but I don't have a show to do it anymore. So I might wind up I've talked about this for a little while with Robin mainly, but I kind of want to do like a 30-minute weekly show where I like really speed recap some of the news from like the gaming world, so I can do like headlines and then like quick rants as fast as I can. But I just haven't done it yet. You know, I have a very specific setup in mind, and I'm really trying to focus on taking care of this one. But, you know, maybe later you'll see something like that pop up.
Cool.
So we have a lot of things that we want to do, but not a lot of time and definitely not a lot of money. So, right on. My husband has gotten like a huge blanket for every year we've been married because he knows I can't give up keeping the house icy, and I would 100% let him freeze.
That's hilarious.
We have a winter blanket that I can't sleep under because it's so goddamn hot. So once she's under it, though, she can't feel the fan whatsoever. So that's like,
it's nice.
Go to Macy's on Black Friday and find their like $40 blankets because they're usually like $150, and it'll change your life. It's just glorious. I love the winter. I love the fall, the winter, and the spring. And it's not that I don't like summer out here. I love swimming, and it cools you off. It's just horrible when it's hot and you're sweating in your sleep. It's fucking miserable. So cool.
Don't know what that feels like.
I hate you. She really doesn't. I'm not. That wasn't a joke. That wasn't an over-exaggeration when I told that story about the 95-degree upstairs with no air conditioning. And she was wrapped up in that winter blanket, and she still thought that the air conditioning was on because she's insane. So
you're insane.
For the patrons out there, let me mark that. For our patrons out there, we're going to do a giveaway. We talked about it. We're going to give out a free customized t-shirt. So whoever wins this, we're going to reach out to.
Get your size.
See your size, catchphrase that you might want on the t-shirt.
Yeah.
Logo,
and then my
whatever
sister
you're
is
thinking.
going to hand make it. So
yeah, and then we might toss in some extra stuff for you guys. So anyone that's a Patreon, that was a patron, I should say, when the episode started, has been added into a spinny wheel. And since we're doing this live, I'm going to try and make it so that I can share my screen with you guys. I don't know if this is going to work, though, because I have to edit the actual stream while we're doing it.
I've only ever done it in OBS where I had my screen up at the same time.
Yeah, so this is going to be slightly complicated, but we're going to give it a shot.
Clicky, clicky.
So you're going to need to vamp while I do this.
Oh. Okay, so yes, I believe that fall and winter are the best just because Halloween is the best, followed by Christmas, which is awesome. And I haven't started Christmas shopping yet. Oh, dear God, why?
Yeah, it's August and she's worried. That's totally normal, by the way.
But yeah, Halloween. I love everything. Pumpkins, bats.
You guys can hear us, but you can't see us. Don't worry.
So if you guys want to send us Halloween things, I'm partial to getting ghosts and stuff. Gimme. Not actual ghosts. Ghost-themed objects.
You're bad at vamping.
I am very bad. Oh, when is summer in Australia? Wait, is it winter in Australia now? Is summer here, so winter in Australia?
I don't know. Probably. That sounds right. I mean, they're on the other side of the planet and on the bottom hemisphere, so.
So, yeah. Oh, man. I want to know. Let us know, Nate and C, like, what it is there right now, because that'd be interesting. I didn't know. Carly started Xmas shopping this week. Nice. I need to get that, except we're broke, so fuck.
Oh shit! You guys can see it now. Okay, cool.
Wow, you had a lot of
I got a lot of stuff up in the air while this is all going on, so I'm hiding all of my horse porn, so you guys don't have to see that. We're gonna minimize this. Yeah. Okay. So you can see this now. So this has the name of every patron that we had when we started. And we're going to spin this, and whoever this lands on is going to get something for free. They're going to get that t-shirt and maybe a couple of extra things tossed in.
Cool.
So here we go. It's spinning. For those of you who are listening on the podcast version, it's still spinning. And Mario is our winner. So congratulations, Mario. You're going to get yourself a free customized t-shirt. And then we're going to see if we can toss some extra stuff in there for you as well.
Cool.
So that was fun. That didn't take too terribly long for the people watching. It only took about 20 minutes for me to set that up.
Yeah, and me mumbling and not knowing what to say. Hi, thanks.
Super.
Okay,
that's like the spirit of our podcast, I think.
Oh, yeah, me mumbling. No.
Yep, exactly. Yep. That sounded just right.
Okay.
So I think that's just about everything we have to do except for like the outro stuff and then maybe one more look over to the Twitch chat before we wrap up.
Yeah.
Stream chat. Fuck. Every time. Okay, take a shot every time I say Twitch chat instead of stream chat. We'll do that next episode. We'll start the drinking game.
Cool.
So if you guys want to reach out to us with your homegrown horrors that we can read on future story times, you can email storytime@scarish.com. You can also go to facebook.com/scarishpodcast and message us there. Please like the page when you visit. We really appreciate that. We're almost at 500 likes. We're rapidly approaching it. It's very exciting. If you want some instant feedback, join the group on Facebook. You can find the link on the Facebook page. And you can also join the Discord, and you can post your stories in both those places for some instant feedback from the community. If you want to give us shout-outs or story suggestions on Twitter, since 280 characters isn't a lot, our Twitter handle is @ScarishPod.
Yep.
And if you want to donate some money to us, Ko-fi or ko-fi.com/scarishpodcast for one-time donations. You can also do monthly signups for Patreon at patreon.com/scarishpodcast.
Certain tiers you get actual physical goodies from us. So
True.
I know Connor for a while was at the $50 tier, and we sent him like a package all the way to Australia. So
every month too. Yeah.
So yeah.
But there's a lot of stuff on there. The first tier is just for $1 a month, which is 4 quarters. It's not a lot.
4 quarters.
We appreciate when you guys sign up. You get early access to all of our stuff, and you get entry into giveaways like this that we just did on this live show.
Yep.
So you can also donate to us during the live show like Carly did earlier, which we really appreciate, and we'll give you a shout out while it comes in. It's very exciting. We like to see stuff like that. And aside from that, I think that's about all the shilling that we do for money normally.
Yeah.
So right on. I don't think there's really a whole lot else to go over.
And don't forget to check out the Etsy shop, etsy.com/shop/Robin's Quiet Corner, where we have Scary-ish merchandise, and we'll have new merchandise up coming.
If you don't get all that right away, you can go to scarish.com, scroll to the bottom, and there's a button for Robin's Quiet Corner, which is where all of our merch is.
Yep.
It's easier to get to it that way. And check out the t-shirt. It's going to be up for the first week of September, through the first week of September. And those help support us a whole lot. And we really appreciate everyone that's been doing that. And for anyone who doesn't have anything fiscally to donate, we 100% understand. And anything that you can do, tell a friend, leave a review, share the episode, however you want to help us out. That means a whole lot to us. So thank you to everyone who watched today on YouTube and on Twitch. We really appreciate you.
Yeah.
And thank you to everyone who's listening right now in the normal podcast form where you don't have to hear all the dead air and the awkwardness because I've edited that out.
Thanks.
So I don't think there's a whole lot else to do except say bye. Is that about right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'll leave that up to you.
Keep on creeping on, and we'll see you guys next week. We'll literally see you guys next week.